Fujifilm X-T5 review after 2 weeks. What I found out about this Fujifilm X-T5 in real world use for photography but also for videography. Let's talk about this now. Hi there and welcome to my channel. My name is Tudor Matescu and in this video I want to share with you my experience of using Fujifilm X-T5 with the old lenses, the 35mm f1.4 lens, and with new lenses, the 80mm f1.4 lens. So I've bought these lenses brand new because I didn't have the 80mm f1.4 and because I sold my 35mm f1.4 the second time, and this is the third time that I'm buying the 35mm f1.4, but brand new this time because I said I must try the lens brand new because I wasn't satisfied with the used versions that I've got. So my experience with X-T5 for the moment is limited. I've used it for 2 weeks in different conditions, for street photography, for family photography, for vlogging. I've made a vlog with X-T5 and 80mm f1.4 and so on, but I really need to test it more. But let's address some key points, and especially key points that refers to image quality and to the AF of the new X-T5. But first, let's start with the ergonomics. From my point of view, this is my best camera when I'm thinking about the ergonomics of this camera. So changing from photography to videography and changing different modes is very easy to do. So I really like the ergonomics a lot. I'm just using a switch and I'm in video mode. In video mode I can have immediately the video set on auto, or I can change the video exposure using the dials of this camera. Also in photography it's the same. I can use the camera in semi-auto or in auto mode or in manual mode very fast. I've made a guide how to set up your X-T5. Check link in the card here. So I've set my X-T5 that I'm able to use it with flash immediately and make the changes with a manual flash, the Godox flash, when the camera and the Godox are closed. So I can take this Godox, change the dials, change the settings, take X-T5, put the dials, put the settings on my lens, on my rings, and I'm ready to shoot without opening the camera. This is huge. This is extremely huge. No other camera that I had and that I've used, X Pro C, X100V, GX9, my favorite all-time camera, is able to help me do these settings so well and so fast with the eye closed, like X-T5. So the ergonomics in photography and videography are wow, amazing, extraordinary. I have no words regarding this experience. The next key point that I want to address is the IBIS. I was amazed. Again, this is the word, amazed. I'm using Micro Four Thirds cameras. I'm filming over the table with a Micro Four Thirds camera. Now I'm filming myself with a Micro Four Thirds camera, Lumix J80, an old camera. And I also use GX9, Olympus cameras and so on. And the IBIS on this X-T5 is at the level of my Micro Four Thirds cameras. Of course, almost, but it's sufficient. I can handhold at 1 second and for me it's sufficient different shots with 80mm f1.4. But especially the IBIS in video, it's working great. I have no words how great it is working in video. So it's a real help. And the image quality again is great. So let's talk about the image quality because I feel this is crucial point for this camera. Why would you want to buy this camera, the 40 megapixel X-T5 and not the 24 megapixel X-H2S? So I said in a previous video that the 40 megapixel sensor is not a factor that will motivate me to buy X-T5. But my opinion changed because when I saw the image quality that I've got from this camera with the older lenses, 80mm f2, 35mm f1.4, but also with the new lens 80mm f1.4. I was amazed, jaw-dropping image quality. The image quality entirely and on the big screen is identical, but when I'm saying identical, I'm saying it wrong. Is better than the image quality for my Sony a7R III, a full frame camera. Yes, when I look at pixel level, I will see that the full frame image will have more details and more unnatural sharpness if you are asking me. But for me, for my taste, this is better. The images that this camera will produce will have the tonalities and the gradation and the information dynamic range of a full frame camera, but with the colors of a Fujifilm camera. And the white balance of the Fujifilm cameras, as I hope you know, it's one of the best white balance out there. So this camera is putting the colors in the right spot every time. In mixed lighting conditions, you will not have polluted colors like other cameras are offering you. And the JPEGs this time. So we know the JPEGs of Fujifilm cameras are good, but this time, amazing. They are the best JPEGs that I was able to see in my life. The best JPEGs out there. So you can get some recipes, some colors, the old film simulations that I've made on my Fujifilm cameras, X-Pro3, X100V, X-T5, and other film simulations that you can find online. On this camera will shine even more. On this camera you will feel that you'll have some medium format, filmish look. I don't know, I really can't find my words to describe how good is the image quality in RAW, but especially in JPEG. But also again in RAW, the noise, I'm not feeling it like I'm feeling it on my Sony a7R III. So I feel the noise is better controlled. Again, this is a 2 weeks review. If I will change my mind later, I will publish an update, but for the moment I feel the noise of this APS-C sensor is better than the noise of my Sony full frame camera. So image quality top notch, better than a full frame if you are asking me. And with the new lenses, but also with this 35. I will make a review just with X-T5 and the 35mm f1.4. I don't want to say more about this combo, but let me give you just a small hint. It's extra 10 times extraordinary. But with the new lenses, again, the image quality is at another level. So image quality, no complaints. The upgrade from the sensor of X-T4, X-Pro3, X100V and the last X-Trans sensor is at a totally another level. So now let's talk about the tricky part, the AF of this camera. Yes, I had problems with the AF, and I will make a Fuji short, or probably a Fuji short a little longer, how to set this camera in AF so you can get good results. So let's talk about the problems. The problem is that with IAF you will not have consistent results, you will have false positive results when you are making photography of kid that is running from there to there, or when you are making street photography. Now IAF, you want it to use it in AFC with AF plus manual focusing disabled, in zone focusing with subjects that are posing for this, or in normal event photography. So in normal event photography with IAF, when we are shooting the bride or when you are shooting the guest, the IAF will do the job. But with erratic subjects that will move from there to there, or in street photography, no, you don't want to use IAF, you want to use single AF. So single AF is working great for any subject that you want to take pictures. You will get better results than you are getting with X-Pro3, X100V, of course X-T4 and X-T4. So the AFS of this camera is at another level. Very good, very fast, instantly, with any lenses that I've tested so far. 80mm f1.4, 35mm f1.4, 80mm f2 and 27mm f2. I didn't get very good results with 35mm f2, if you can imagine imagine this. But again, I will make a dedicated video to the AF. But the most important idea that I want to underline in this is that I feel that Fujifilm needs to improve and needs to resolve those bugs. These are firmware bugs. Probably they went ahead very fast to take the camera out, and I feel the hardware is supporting improvement. But I hope they will address these improvements and will get rid of the false positives that we are having on this camera and all these problems that we are seeing on this camera with different lenses. But it looks very promising, and in the end I am not bothered by the fact that this AF is not great like on a full frame camera, like on a Sony camera. I'm not bothered. The improvement of this AF is 10 times better than X Pro 3, X-T4, X-E4. So better AF. You will love the improvement, but if you have a full frame camera and you can compare it with a Sony camera, Nikon and Canon, probably yes, you will feel that Fujifilm is behind, but this must not stop you to take photography, and Fujifilm is about photography, and the philosophy that you are having this camera you will not find in another camera brand. Another thing to address is the AFC tracking is working better than on other cameras. So very sticky. So good results, and if you know how to set it up, you will obtain what you want. But again, I will do a video about how to set it up for AF, so please subscribe to see that video. Next, let's talk about the image quality in videography, in video for vlogging. So I've took this camera and I've used it 4K 60p, indoors, outdoors, vlogging in the studio with 80mm f1.4. Also, I've used it in 4K high quality mode and so on. So I've tested in pretty normal conditions the video spec. In studio and outside, the camera didn't hit. It's winter now, but also in studio I didn't felt that heat at 4K 24p when filming or 4K 60p. So I don't feel that for normal use you'll have problems with the overheating in video. But the AF in video is very good with 80mm f1.4. It's great, amazing good, amazing. I'm loving it. I would have wanted more features for the AF, a little tracking box or a box so I know where I will punch in. Maybe I didn't find all the settings, but again, I'm testing it more the camera. Also, I like the fact that the screen is showing a red square, so you know when you will record yourself. You have a daily light and all the ergonomics and the indicators, so you know what you are doing. When you are filming slow motion video, you will have a green box on the screen that will show you that you are filming slow motion video. And the image quality of the video. The image quality of the video is jaw-dropping. Again, better than my Sony a7R III, better than any camera that I've used and I've seen online. It's almost as a full frame, but better than a full frame. Again, it's very filmish, very natural, very organic, but with very pleasing sharpness, very natural, and with the colors, the beautiful colors of Fujifilm. So I really have no words. How good is the video? The video, again, yes, is better than the video from X-T4, X-E4, X Pro 6, because I've used the extents of these cameras, and yes, I like the colors, but this is again better, 10 times better. So was it worth it? After 2 weeks of using how I've set the camera in video, in street photography, for taking pictures of my kids, for taking low light pictures and good light pictures, this camera, it totally rocks. I'm in totally love with the camera, and yes, this is where Fujifilm should start their cameras, small cameras, big cameras, because the ergonomics finally are at the level of a Micro Four Thirds camera. Because again, I am loving the ergonomics and the IBIS of a Micro Four Thirds camera like GX9, G9, GH6 and so on. But the image quality of this X-T5, I've said, is at the level of a full frame camera, or better if you don't judge by pixel level, and with the IBIS of a Micro Four Thirds camera. It's a dream come true, and again, it's light. This is another important factor. It's not like we have a big full frame camera with great IBIS, great image quality, but is big with a big grip. I like small cameras that I can take with me. And this camera is taking all these goodies in one little package, very well made, very well built with extraordinary good ergonomics, and is delivering. It's a totally workhorse, but also a fun camera to use, a hobbyist camera, and so on. So I'm really thrilled. It's really a shame that Fujifilm didn't trust their heritage and didn't make a power grip for this camera too, because lots of users are loving Fujifilm for these controls and are wanting to use a camera like this for even photography. A professional camera doesn't need to look like a DSLR camera. It can look like this and have these options, because these options are not gimmicks, they are really helping you to nail the exposure even with flash, with the camera closed and with your eye closed. And this is the huge advantage of this camera. Yes, I am loving it. It is the best camera that I've used at this moment. So if you don't have one, and if you think not to buy X-T5 because the AF is not great, you are totally wrong, because the AF is great. Yes, is not at the level of a full frame camera, but I feel that they will improve it with firmware. But even if the AF will not be improved via firmware, the camera is worth every penny. It is so good, and the upgrade is huge. It is huge. So totally recommend this camera. I totally recommend it. This is it. I can't find any bad things and any whining and complaining that will not make me enjoy this camera. So thank you for watching this. Please check my other videos about Fujifilm X-T5, especially Fujifilm X-T5 in expand mode and other Fujifilm X-T5 videos. And please subscribe. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.